Hello and welcome to Read with Diibaaa. I'm your host, and we're gonna talk about a really famous series. I am sure many of you have heard about that, and I just finished it. And by just, I mean yesterday I finished the series, and I thought that I cannot wait till my monthly wrap-ups to talk about it. I decided to create a whole other video just dedicated to that series and talk about it and really take this edge off because because I have really strong opinions about this series, uh, about one of the books in the series. So, with no further ado, let's get into this because I don't know how long it takes me, but I'm gonna talk a lot. This series that I want to talk about is the Legacy of God series by Rina Kent, which is my first Rinaverse series, and I started by this. I know they're part of an interconnected standalones, and well, there are 6 books in the series, and I read them partially in order because I read books 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I skipped 5, read sixth book in the series, God of War, I guess, and then got back and read God of Fury, which is book number 5 in this series. And that's because I wanted to save the book that everyone loves for the last. Some of the books in this series really disappointed me, and I hate some of the characters. And by some, I really mean just 1 or 2, maybe. There are characters that I don't know the story of them, like I have to read other books to figure out this story, but not the parents, not that. But some of the characters mentioned in these books, like there is a guy, the one in the white stitch mask. I don't think that there is a story for him, but I really wanted to know about that because, well, there was a mystery guy, no dialogues, no, and not anything, just mentioned a few times in the initiations, and well, I really want to hear about that. I know Gareth has a story book, Kiss the Villain. Okay, enough with the introduction, and let's get into talking about these books. I started off and I only wanted to read God of Malice this month, I mean in May, but I don't know how to say this. I cannot lead with that sentence. I hated Killian Carson and the whole book. I actually didn't like Glyndon either. She was, well, by far the most, I don't know what adjective to use. Pathetic is strong. The weirdest woman I've ever read about. What the hell is going on with you? Huh? I mean, in my opinion, I've never hated anyone. Okay? I have never hated any character except for Jack Barlow in the Empyrean series, which is not our, well, topic here right now. But I only hated that guy, okay? And he was a side character, okay? But these two, Killian and Glyndon, were main characters, were the first main characters I hated with every fiber of my being. That strong. You know? I couldn't stand them. Like the girl was, okay, I'm finally gonna use that. The girl was pathetic and the guy was a psycho. I know that I've been expecting a psycho, okay? Like, I knew the trope, what was the trope, I knew what I should expect. It was dark romance. It had to be very dark, okay? I wasn't going in there blind, but I couldn't connect with those two. Like, I hated them. And when I say I hated them, I loathed them, okay? I have never hated anyone as much as I hate those two. There were times I was reading the book and there were times that I really wanted to throw up. There were scenes that made me sick. And I'm the girl who listened and read Haunting Adeline and Haunting Adeline, both books, while eating, while doing, I don't know, daily chores and stuff. But this, and my sister kept insisting, read the book, it's gonna get better. It didn't get better at all. Like, there was not any second that I enjoyed the book. None whatsoever. And I said that in my review in Goodreads, and I will leave the link below. And the other thing that it was sickening. I love dark romance, okay? I love it. But that one was not something that I would go for. And I kept reading because she said that it's gonna get better, but it didn't. It only got worse, and it only made me sick. That's it. That's all I can say. And I wasn't planning on reading the rest of the series this month because I had a long TBR for this month, which I was creating a video, but I ended up deleting that video from my camera roll, like totally. Well, change of plans. I wasn't reading any of those books and I got into this series, so I had to start it. And I had to continue this series. And one of the reasons that I kept reading this series was because I didn't want to judge the whole series or the whole Rinaverse by one book that I've read. So I gave it another shot. I continued the series and read God of Pain, the second book in the series. And surprise, surprise, oh, I rated God of Malice 1 star, and that's because I had to give it a star. I think that 1 star is even, I don't know, I was generous with 1 star. I don't know, 25% of 1 star. But as I said, I didn't want to judge a whole series or a whole Rinaverse by reading one book, okay? And I started to read God of Pain, and surprise, surprise, purple is my favorite color, okay? The whole room that you can't see is either white or purple. That's like, I'm watching my bed and it's whole like purple. And I love that book, okay? That book, God of Pain, was amazing. I actually rated it 5 star at first, and I'm gonna talk to you about that at first thing. I gave God of Pain, God of Wrath, God of Ruin, God of War 5 stars, but that's at first. But then something happened that I had to change that. That's not important because I'm gonna talk about it when we get to the point that I changed those 5 stars. I loved Creighton and Annika, okay? The girl, the grumpy sunshine thing, and well, their relationship, it was amazing. Like the trope, the plot twist. That book actually had a plot, had a twist, And the twist was twisting, you know? It really got me, it really caught me by surprise, and it was really good. But the first one didn't have any sort of plot, you know? The lack of plot was, I don't know, far more obvious than you think. And then this second book changed everything. I started to fall in love with this series, okay? I love purple. I love the characters. I actually was curious when reading the first book. I actually was curious about the stories of how their relationship would go, how their I actually wanted to know about Cecily, not about Ava. I didn't like Ava at first, but uh, Anika, Cecily, and yeah, Landon too. I don't know why, but I was like, I felt there is something going on with him, but well, we'll get to that. We're talking about the second book. It was a 5 star for me, okay? I didn't put it down till the last word that I read, okay? And it was amazing. I loved it so much. I rated it 5 stars. I wrote a review about it again on Goodreads. And then I went through God of Wrath. And oh my god, Jeremy Volkov. I wasn't thinking that I would like Jeremy Volkov, but he made it to my top 20 book boyfriends. I mean, he immediately made it there. Okay? The way he was with Cecily and the way he was talking to her, the way he took care of her, the way he tried to be better for her. I cannot say anything. He was really what I ask for in books, and the whole characters, the plot, the things that were happening, the, it was really good. It was really good, and I was happy because I gave the series a chance. And I really moved on from Killian Carson and the way I hated him, and start connecting with these characters and loved them so, so, so damn much. There were incredible characters, like the way they developed into these loving men, and the way they developed into these good characters, the redemption things. Not actually redemption per se, because, well, there was any redemption involving, because they just got better with their women, you know? At first, there was like some wild, savage things, and then at last, they're beginning to be good, and the endings were great. The epilogues were phenomenal, and I love those. I love me a good epilogue, and when it's a how can I put this? A really long-term thing, like not 2 months, not 3 months, not even 6 months. I love it when it goes 2 years later or a year later. You know, I love that. And I loved God of Wrath even better than God of Pain. You know, with each book, the series grew on to me. You know, it was really funny because I hated the first book, and the second book was perfect, was amazing. I loved it so much, and I loved the third book even more. And then, oh my god, I got introduced to Landon fucking King. Landon King? I hate the way that Glyndon and Brandon and whole other characters were talking about him like he is the same as Killian. No, he's not the same as Killian. He put so much effort in learning empathy. He didn't, but he tried. He tried hard to win Mia. Okay? And that is what I love. Okay? Landon King, the I don't know, he was an artist. This particular artist, this one was amazing. And he was so much different from Brandon, even though they were identical twins. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. The way he sacrificed for Mia, the way he helped her, the chess, the sculptures, the things that were happening in that book really got me hooked. Like from the first time when Mia met Landon in the first book, God of Malice, I knew that I'm like, there's gonna be a really good book when they get together. And it was a really good book. And stay tuned because there's gonna be a rating involved in this video. Then I was listening, like I was seeing all over Book Talk, Bookstagram, and Booktube that God of Fury is the best book that they've ever read. The banter is good. The things that were going on were good. So I decided to skip that book and save the best for last. Okay? So I skipped that and started reading God of War. And Eli King was the second best guy. I don't... The King Man? Oh my god. Even the fathers were good. I cannot believe I'm saying this, but Aiden and Levi King were both great too. I haven't read their books, but as fathers, they were amazing. They were so funny. Their point of views are amazing. I love them so much. And the way Eli took care of Ava and the way he, well, the trope of this book was new to me because I have never read an amnesia trope. Actually, I did. It was one book, but it wasn't like this intense. But this was different from that book. This was perfect, amazing, lovely. And the push and pull, the back and forth, the talking, the thing that she was doing, there was amazing. I laughed a lot reading that book. I loved that couple. As a couple, they were amazing. The obsession, the possessiveness, all the things were amazing. I rated that 5-star either. I actually rated books number 2, 3, 4, 6, 5 stars. And then I have nothing much to talk about God of War. I really am scared to blurb something, like spoil something or do anything. So I'm not gonna talk about it. Just that I rated it 5-star. And yeah, that's it. But I have a lot to talk about God of Fury. Okay, when I finished God of War, I took a 1-day rest and started God of Fury. There is some things that I want to talk about before I talk about the book. First, this was my first ever romance. I have never read like a male romance before. This was my first one, and I really didn't know what to expect in this book. And everyone loved it, and everyone was talking about it. And so I decided to go into this book blind. I didn't know what's going on in that whatsoever. So I just started reading, and I said that I will go with the flow of the book and I will not think about any other things. And when I got to that book, it got me hooked immediately. And when I say hooked, this book has me on a chokehold. This book was the funniest, most perfect book that I've ever read. I laughed hard during that book. The push and pull, the back and forth talking, the banter, the dirty talk in this book. Oh my God. There are not enough adjectives in the English language for me to describe this book and describe how much I loved it. The whole time I was laughing, I was giggling, I was kicking my feet. Oh my God. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep. I just read, okay? And I finished it yesterday. Like, I finished it last night. It took me about a day and a half to read it. And I was savoring it. It had the most tabs and the most quotes that I highlighted, like, ever. I have never done that much in a book. The way that they were talking to each other. Oh my God, Nikolai. If I had any guy like Nikolai, I would be all over that guy. Okay? I cannot even say anything. They were so good. I didn't really expect that. But that book really changed my mood. Like, I was stressed. I still am. But during that reading session, but while I was reading God of Fury, I wasn't thinking about anything else in my life. I was just reading the book and enjoying it. I devoured it. And I am thrilled and I'm happy and I'm over the moon because I gave this series a chance. I cannot believe that how the first book could really make me hate something, and this one made me love the whole series. And we're getting to the point that why I said I gave all those 4 books 5 stars at the beginning. Okay, listen to me. I gave books number 2, 3, 4, and 6 5 stars. And I think that they really deserved 5+ stars, okay? 6, 7, 10, I don't know, 1,000 stars, okay? They were really good. But if I was giving this one 5 star and the other ones 5 star, it didn't make the justice, okay? God of Fury deserved a solid 5 stars. You know what I mean? So I had to go through the series again and drop 1 star from all of them. Like, I gave those 4 stars, those 4 books 4 stars, and we don't talk about God of Malice here. I hated that, and it was pure trash for me, okay? I didn't like it. I still gave them 5 stars in my heart, but this one for me was infinity stars. The relationship, the character development, the way that Nikolai was trying, was caring, and I couldn't guess in a million times that Nikolai would be this. Books, there are not enough things talking about. They don't really talk about Nikolai, and they're not really talking about it except that he just needs his fists. He doesn't need any weapon, or I don't know, something like that. And he's so savage and he's so grumpy. He's so dangerous. But in reality, in his book, I don't know, he's the best guy that anyone could have, guy or girl. So I'm gonna rate the male main characters and female main characters and the couples. Like, I'm gonna rate not just the couples, but books. 5 girls, actually, and it's from least favorite to most favorite. I have to put Deviant King at the bottom of the list. I hated that girl. At number 4, we have Ava Nash from God of War. 3 would be to put Anika at number 3, even though we love the same color. I loved Mia better. So at number 2, we have Mia Sokolov. I was actually relating to that character. And at number 1, we have Cecily Knight. And when I say that, I mean I felt most related to Cecily and Mia, and then Anika, but not the other 2. Okay? Like, I think myself as a mixture of these 3 girls. This is weird for saying that, but yeah. Well, and then as for the boys, at the bottom we have Killian Carson. That's for sure. That's for sure. And then we have Brandon King. He was so uptight. Number 5, we can put Eli King. You know, as for number 5, we can put Eli King there because it leaves us with Landon, Nikolai, Creighton, and Jeremy. So, there is a tough choice for me to make, but I have to put Creighton at number 4. And then I have to put Jeremy and Landon both equally at this point it's, I guess, number 2. And as number 1, we have Nikolai. I cannot decide between Jeremy and Landon, but I can surely say that Nikolai is my number 1 guy in all these books. He was incredible. He was so fun. I really needed that. I know I've been talking a lot, but I had to make this video and talk about this series because I really needed that. So, and I'm gonna cut it short and ask you just for subscribing my channel and like this video, and please leave a comment and tell me which character is your most favorite and which book that you love the most in this series. And as per usual, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. See you again in the next video.